Everybody, it's Tremia, and this is the fourth time I'm trying to make this video, and it's a very important video, or I would have just said, yeah, wait till another day, because it gets frustrating. But we have answers back from Chicago. They took everything to the grand rounds. About my face, my skin, because it's not just on my face, that's just what you guys can see. It is on different parts of my body. And anyway, we got a phone call back from dermatology and also Dr. Burt, and Dr. Burt and dermatology said that the diagnosis is lupus. We're in shock. Dwayne and I have been walking around kind of in a daze. We've known just a little over a week and just trying to let things settle in, trying to comprehend everything. It's a bit overwhelming. My parents know, and that was basically it. And there's a lot of questions that are still out in the open, and so, like, to me, the diagnosis of lupus is not 100% yet, because as you know, none of my blood work, none of my serology, none of my pathology has come back in black and white with the diagnosis of lupus. Now, Dr. Burt and the dermatology department are saying they believe it's cutaneous lupus. And with that, Dr. Burt said he has never seen a stem cell patient go from one form of lupus to the other. My lupus was systemic, and now it's a possibility this is cutaneous lupus, and there's the possibility that it's systemic. He had me get into my rheumatologist as quickly as possible, and she did some more blood work, and what we're all interested in seeing is my ANA titer. Throughout this past year, excuse me, as you know, my ANA and all my readings for lupus with my lab has come back negative. In March, my ANA titer came back 1/40, which is still negative. ANA titers, they double as they go up, so it goes 1/40, 1/80, 1/160, 1/320, and mine was, prior to the stem cell, mine was like 1/1280, whatever it gets up, but it's in the 1200s. And so we're interested to see in what the ANA is at this point. 1/80 is considered a low positive. But then again, there we go again, as far as lupus, you do not have to have a positive ANA to have lupus. So, this is like where all these questions and everything are coming up, because again, nothing's in black and white. And I said, how can, we know, the pathology, all the biopsies, it never showed cutaneous lupus. Never once did it indicate that. All of my blood never once indicated that. And I'm modified. My blood at this point isn't trustworthy. My tissue isn't trustworthy. It's going through changes, it's going through all these things. And I guess I'm the new 2.0 version of Tremia. And so it's unfortunately not going to be in black and white. It's another thing they're going to learn through research, what's happening. Instead of them relying on research, they're going to be writing pages about me and, you know, my condition and what forth and whatnot. And so we're still learning as we go, as Dr. Bird is and everybody is, because this is something that they haven't seen. He did go ahead and start me on Plaque now, and he goes, let's see how that goes. And I don't know if I'm up to just seeing how it goes. I have fought and I have fought and I have fought. I do not want to start on the pill regimen again. Taking one pill, we all know it takes 3 months for Plaque to build up in your system to have any kind of effect. And then at that point we find out it's not doing what it needs to do, so we add another. I don't want to get back where I'm taking 40, 50, 60 pills a day just to maintain some form of quality of life. I've been there, I've done that, and I've fought against it. And, you know, we just don't know exactly what we're going to do yet. If it does come back systemic, in which, since the diagnosis is thrown out on the table, I said, okay, Dr. Burt, here's symptoms that I've been having that I just kind of put the note in my mind and then pushed it away because, you know, lupus wasn't out there, so I'm just recovering from the stem cell transplant. Now the diagnosis is on the table. Here's some symptoms. Well, we all know the rash, and I got a little makeup on today so it doesn't look as bad as what it normally does. But you know, this is all since October when I went septic. I've noticed these things. You know, I had the rash beforehand, but after that, you know, it's like, does this look like a butterfly rash? You know, that was my question to people, to my doctors, to Dwayne, to Sheldon, to my parents. Breathing, taking a deep breath, having sharp pains. Oh gosh, that feels like pleurisy. Don't want to think about that. Man, you know, I feel kind of like I got a low-grade fever. Why do I have a low-grade fever? Got sores in my mouth. Sores in my nose. That's not good. Thought I'd test the photosensitivity out on my own. Went and stayed out in the sun for about 15 minutes one day with Buddy. I looked like a cherry tomato for the next 5 days and had a hard time getting out of bed. Spent more time in bed than what I had been. Let's see. Oh, those spots on my legs. What are those? You know? The doctor last week said, well, that's vasculitis. We know what that's a symptom of. My liver enzymes are way out of whack. They want me to go to my GI doctor, which I'm going in the next couple of weeks. Is my appointment, but I'm on the cancellation list. They're trying to get me in as soon as possible because we need to figure out what's going on with my liver. Is it autoimmune? Is lupus attacking it? Is that's what making it, you know, my enzymes so high, and my liver hurts. It's hurting. And also, you know, my trouble with my breathing, my pulmonary function test from Chicago came back interstitial lung disease. So, you know, what does that mean? You know, is it still going after my lungs? So, we don't know. We don't know anything yet. And last week I was reacting. I was really high strung. I don't know, you know, it was, well, you know, just overwhelming, trying to figure out everything. And I finally decided I can't figure out everything. If it is systemic lupus, the treatment is 6 months of Cytoxin chemotherapy, and it puts the patients back into remission. So that's a possibility I'm looking at. Or is it simple as Plaque? We don't know yet. want to see that ANA titer and all that come back in. And once all that starts coming back in, you know, I'll let you guys know and let you know what steps we're taking, you know, what we're figuring out amongst all this. It's chaos right now. It's the weight of the world. It's a shocker in one sense, but not surprising in another. Dr. Burt said I was hit, you know, one right after the other with a stem cell transplant. I was knocked down with every kind of infection possible, that it threw me back into this. So, we'll see. It's not what I believe any of us were expecting or wanting to hear. But I am better than I was a year ago. I am, and I refuse to spiral back down into that debilitating disease. I can walk now. I mean, I have to have assistance to walk around the block, but I can walk through my house. I couldn't do that a year ago. I've been taking my own shower and changing my clothes for the past 3 weeks. I refuse. I do not want to give up that freedom. I can make my own lunch now instead of Dwayne every day having to make sure all 3 of my meals are ready for me when he's working, you know, 8-9 hour days. And I've made progress throughout this whole past year, and it's been a pure hell, but I've made progress, and I want to keep it that way. So my decisions of what we do will be based upon that, because I don't want to give up what I've worked so hard to accomplish for me and for everybody that has lupus. You know, the answers need to be found. The cure needs to be found. And we all need to do whatever part we can in this process and work our hardest towards finding that cure, towards lupus awareness. So I'll keep you guys informed. We're doing okay. Keep us in your prayers, please. And we'll just see where this journey continues to take us. I'll see you in the next video.